Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5:30 starts now.
When you went to bed that night, you weren't concerned that anything was wrong?
Nope.
This local father charged with murdering his wife by spiking her cereal with heroin. Now, for the first time, hear what Jason Harris says under oath about the hours leading up to his wife's death.
44-year-old Jason Harris, he'll be in court tomorrow for the start of his preliminary hearing in the murder of his wife, Christy Thompson Harris.
But tonight, in a defender's exclusive, we are hearing from him under oath as the Local 4 defenders were able to obtain the deposition he took part in for a wrongful death civil lawsuit that was filed against him.
It was September of 2014 inside this Davison home where 36-year-old Christy Thompson Harris was found dead in the master bedroom. Her death ruled an accidental overdose. 5 years would pass, then
We believe he put heroin into her cereal and milk the night that she died.
Christy's husband Jason was charged in her murder. But before he was charged, Christy's family filed a wrongful death lawsuit, so Jason was deposed under oath. Let's start with another woman he admitted being in contact with during his marriage to Christy.
You sent sexual messages to her?
Yes.
And you disclosed this at some point to your wife?
Yes.
When did you disclose it to Christy?
As soon as she asked about him. She asked what the number was, and I told her.
Harris also admitted what he said about divorcing Christy.
I think it came up as an option for the whole theory of living in a perfect world.
He was questioned about money problems in his marriage.
What was the reason for filing bankruptcy?
Because we were well over our head.
Then asked about hiring a hitman to kill his wife.
Did you ever request that Mr. Shustak kill your wife?
No.
And if he said that you did, he's either lying or mistaken?
No, he'd be lying.
The 44-year-old father also talked about what happened inside his Davison home while the couple's 2 children slept the night before his wife died.
When you went to bed that night, you weren't concerned that anything was wrong?
Nope.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
Other than her falling asleep when pumping. She got hungry. I made her up a bowl of cereal. That's what she asked for.
Harris left early for work the next day.
And when you left, she was alive?
Correct.
A neighbor then found his wife dead in her bed after Jason called that neighbor asking her to check on Christy. At that time, Christy's death was ruled an accidental overdose.
You had nothing to do with your wife's death, right?
Correct.
Harris then admitted to moving another woman into his home just weeks after his wife died.
When did she move into the house with you?
2 or 3 days before Halloween of 2014.
So the same month as the funeral for Christina Harris?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The accused murderer then talked about his wife's life insurance he received.
So the checks that you received were altogether that was about 150, that range?
Roughly, yes.
Okay. And you used that to pay off your student loans?
Yes.
How did you feel after your wife died?
It's kind of a strange question, but a little confused, very hurt. It was devastating. It was rough. It was very sad.
Jason Harris's preliminary exam will be in Flint tomorrow morning. I'll be there and, of course, let you know what happens.
Yeah, boy, as this goes forward, it just gets more and more fascinating.
It is very interesting, all the different levels of the case and the fact that it took 5 years for charges to be brought in this case. So I definitely know we'll be learning more in the prelim, and it'll be an interesting case to cover.
Especially that timeline that they're putting together, yeah.